I want you to picture a moment that might feel a little too familiar. You're in your kitchen, reaching for that heavy mixing bowl on the top shelf. Or maybe you're stepping off a curb to cross the street. And suddenly, there's a glitch.
A split-second wobble.
Your ankle gives way just a tiny bit. Your heart skips a beat, and you instinctively grab the counter or the wall.
You catch yourself. You're fine.
You brush it off and tell yourself, I'm just getting older. Or I was just clumsy. But deep down, that moment scares you, doesn't it?
Because it feels like a warning.
A whisper from your body that says the ground isn't as solid as it used to be. We are told that to age well, we just need to keep moving.
Get your steps in. Walk 10,000 steps a day.
And so, you do. You walk, you garden, maybe you even play a little pickleball. You're doing everything right. But here is the uncomfortable truth that most general advice misses. Walking builds endurance, but it does not build stability.
Imagine your body is a house.
Walking is like painting the walls and fixing the roof. It makes everything look great and function well. But if the foundation pillars underneath are quietly crumbling, that fresh paint won't stop the house from shifting when the wind blows. That wobble you felt in the kitchen? That wasn't because your legs are weak. It's because a specific critical system in your lower leg has gone to sleep. It's not your main calf muscle, the one you use to walk or jump. It's a deeper, silent hero that sits underneath it. Scientists and biomechanics experts refer to this muscle as the body's second heart, but I prefer to call it your gravity anchor. When this anchor is active, you don't just walk, you glide. You feel rooted to the earth. Your blood circulation pumps vertically against gravity with ease, reducing that heavy, swollen feeling in your ankles. But more importantly, when you stumble, this is the muscle that catches you before you fall. The problem is, for most of us over 60, modern life has completely deactivated this anchor. Our cushioned shoes, our flat floors, and even our standard walking routines don't wake it up. They let it atrophy. But here is the good news. You don't need to go to a gym to fix this. You don't need heavy weights, and you certainly don't need to run a marathon. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you how to turn this system back on. We're going to use 3 specific micro-movements, based on the latest physiology, to retighten the screws of your body's stability system. We will start sitting down, safe and secure. Then, we will learn how to stand with true authority. And finally, I'm going to teach you a secret weapon movement that separates the pros from the amateurs when it comes to balance, something that walking alone will never give you. My name is Ten Host, and if you are ready to stop hoping you don't fall and start trusting your body again, then sit tight. Let's rebuild your foundation, starting right now.
So, let us meet the start of today's show.
And to do that, I need you to look at your lower leg differently. When you look in the mirror and flex your calf, you see that big diamond-shaped muscle pop out, right? That is called the gastrocnemius. In the medical world, we think of this muscle as the sprinter.
It is explosive. It is powerful.
It's what you use to jump or run across the street when the light changes. But here is the catch. The sprinter gets tired very fast. It burns energy quickly and then, it quits. But underneath that show-off muscle lies something much more important for us. It's a flat, wide muscle running deep against the bone, called the soleus.
If the outer muscle is the sprinter, the soleus is the guardian.
The soleus is fascinating because it is built almost entirely of slow-twitch fibers. That means it is designed for endurance. It is designed to hold you up against gravity for 16 hours a day without ever getting fatigued. It is the only muscle in the human body that theoretically never gets tired. But recent studies, including some groundbreaking research from the University of Houston, have discovered that the soleus does 2 things that are absolutely critical for anyone over 60. Number 1, it is a metabolic engine. Most people don't know this, but when the soleus is activated correctly, it becomes a vacuum for blood sugar and fats. Even while you are sitting. It pulls glucose out of your bloodstream to fuel itself, which is a game changer for managing energy levels and keeping your metabolism humming as you age. So, this isn't just about balance, it's about whole body health. And number 2, it is your second heart.
You see, your heart works hard to pump blood down to your feet.
But getting that blood back up against gravity?
That's hard work.
If the pump is weak, fluid pools in your ankles. That's why your legs feel heavy and swollen by 4 p.m. The soleus contains large veins inside it. Every time it contracts, it squeezes those veins and shoots blood back up to your heart. It literally takes the load off your cardiovascular system. So, you have this guardian muscle. It prevents falls, it regulates blood sugar, and it keeps your circulation flowing.
It sounds perfect.
So, Why is it failing us? The answer lies in our lifestyle. Not because we are lazy, but because we are comfortable. We sit in chairs that keep our knees bent at 90 degrees. We wear shoes with thick, cushioned heels that absorb all the impact.
We walk on flat, predictable pavement.
Over decades, these conveniences have acted like a mute button for the soleus. Your brain has stopped talking to it because it doesn't think it needs to. The sprinter muscle on the outside takes over, tries to do a job it wasn't designed for, gets tired, and that is when you feel that wobble. But the guardian isn't dead.
It's just asleep.
And right now, we are going to wake it up. But before we fix it, we need to see exactly how much of a connection you have left. I want you to stand up for a second. We are going to do a simple test.
Okay, theory time is over. Let's get practical.
I want to see, and I want you to feel, exactly how awake your guardian muscle really is. We are going to do a quick assessment.
I call this the blind stork.
First, a safety rule. Please stand next to a wall, a sturdy chair, or your kitchen counter.
I want you to be safe, not sorry. Step 1, stand tall. Feet together. Hands hovering over your support.
Now, lift one foot just an inch off the ground.
Easy, right?
You can probably stand here for 30 seconds while watching me, thinking, I've got this. My balance is fine. But here is the secret: you are cheating. You don't mean to, but you are. Right now, your eyes are doing 80% of the work. Your vision is locking onto the horizon, fixing your position, and compensating for your sleepy ankles.
So, let's take the cheat code away.
Step 2. Keep that foot in the air. Hover your hand near the chair, and close your eyes.
Do it now. Close them. And count. 1, 2, 3. Okay, open your eyes. Put your foot down. Be honest with me.
What happened in those few seconds? Did you feel that sudden panic? Did you feel your ankle twitching wildly, like it was searching for a signal? Did you have to grab the chair? That shaking sensation? I call that ankle chatter. That is the sound of your brain frantically trying to dial up your soleus muscle, and the soleus not picking up the phone fast enough. When your eyes are closed, your guardian is supposed to take over instantly. If you wobbled immediately, or if you had to put your foot down within 5 seconds, it confirms exactly what we talked about. Your walking muscles are strong, but your stability anchor is offline. And that is okay. In fact, it's great that we found out now, in the safety of your home, rather than on a slippery sidewalk. That ankle chatter creates a lot of noise in your nervous system. Now, we are going to quiet that noise. We are going to turn that chaotic wobble into solid, silent strength.
Are you ready to fix it? Let's sit down for level 1.
Welcome to level 1. We call this the reset. We start seated for a reason. Remember the sprinter muscle, that big calf muscle? When your legs are straight, the sprinter wants to do all the work. But when we sit down and bend our knees to 90 degrees, we physically turn off the sprinter.
This leaves the guardian muscle, the soleus, with no place to hide.
It has to work.
The setup: sit tall.
Feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Now, look at your knees.
This is critical.
Make sure your ankles are directly under your knees, forming a perfect 90-degree box. If your feet are too far forward, you're cheating. If they are too far back, you're straining the joint. Find that perfect right angle. The movement, with a twist now, you could just lift your heels up and down. That's what most videos tell you to do.
It's okay.
But we don't want okay.
We want strong.
So, we are going to add the pressure.
I want you to place your hands on top of your knees. Lean forward slightly. Now, use your arms to push down.
You are creating your own resistance gym right here.
The repetition.
Lift, while pushing down with your hands, slowly peel your heels off the floor.
Fight against your own hands.
Go all the way up onto the balls of your feet.
High as you can. The squeeze, hold it at the top. Squeeze hard. 1, 2.
The descent, this is the most important part. Lower your heels slowly.
Resist gravity.
Do not let them crash down.
3, 2, 1. Touch down. 9:40 Uhr, the feeling. Do you feel that?
It's different from a normal calf cramp. It's a deeper, duller burn, lower down in the leg, almost near the Achilles tendon.
That deep burn?
That is the soleus waking up from its slumber. That is the feeling of fresh oxygenated blood being pumped from your feet back up to your heart. The prescription: I don't want you to set aside 20 minutes to do this. That's how people quit. I want you to use habit stacking.
Do you watch the evening news? Great. Every time a commercial comes on, you do this. Are you sitting with your morning coffee? Do 10 reps. Are you waiting in the doctor's office? Do it there.
Nobody will even notice. Your goal is 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions throughout the day. Once you can do 15 of these with heavy pressure from your hands, and your legs feel warm and alive, not shaky, then and only then are you earned the right to stand up. Level 2 is where we take this strength and introduce it to gravity.
Let us get up. Alright, you we awaken the guardian muscle.
Now, let's introduce it to its biggest enemy, gravity.
Level 2 is the standing calf raise. Now, I know what you rethinking.
I've seen this before. It's just tippy toes, right?
Wrong.
Most people do this exercise completely wrong. They bounce up and down like they are jumping rope. That does nothing for stability. In fact, it just tightens up your calves and can actually make your balance worse. We are going to do it with surgical precision. The setup: stand facing your counter or a heavy chair.
Place your fingertips lightly on the surface for balance. Feet hip width apart. Toes pointing straight forward. The secret technique: the big toe anchor.
Before you lift, I want you to focus on your big toe. As we age, our feet tend to roll outward, towards the pinky toe. That is a weak position. That is how ankles get rolled. I want you to press the ball of your big toe firmly into the floor. Imagine you are crushing a grape under your big toe. Keep that pressure there the entire time. That is your anchor.
The movement.
The elevator: keeping that big toe pressed down, slowly lift your heels. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head straight up to the ceiling. Do not lean forward like a skier.
Go straight up like an elevator. The pause: hold at the top for 2 seconds. Feel your calves tighten. The descent: crucial, lower down slowly. Count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do not let your heels crash into the floor.
Touch the floor as if it were made of thin glass. Why the slow down matters. Why am I making you go so slow? Because falling happens when gravity pulls you down faster than your muscles can react. By lowering slowly, you are training your body to brake. You are building the brakes for your body so that when you miss a step, your leg knows how to absorb the shock without collapsing. Common mistake check: look straight ahead at the horizon, not down at your feet.
If you look down, you throw off your inner ear balance.
Trust your feet to do the work.
Feel the floor, don't look at it.
The repetition: aim for 10 to 12 slow, controlled repetitions. If you feel your ankles shaking on the way down, that is good. That is the weakness leaving your body. That is your brain figuring out the coordinates. Once you master this, you have strength. But you still have one vulnerability. What happens when your knee is bent? Like when you are walking downstairs. The straight leg raise doesn't help you there. For that, we need the secret weapon. The move that separates the amateurs from the pros. Level 3 is coming up.
Welcome to Level 3. This is the secret weapon.
If you take nothing else away from this video, please pay attention to this movement. Because statistics tell us that most falls do not happen when we are standing still with straight legs. They happen when we are transitioning.
When we step down a curb. When we walk downstairs.
When our knees are slightly bent. In those moments, that big sprinter muscle we talked about? It is mechanically disadvantaged. It is loose, like a rubber band with no tension. It cannot help you. You are completely reliant on the guardian muscle, the soleus. And if that guardian is weak, down you go. The setup, the ready stance. So, we are going to train your legs exactly for that dangerous moment. Stand facing your support again. Now, I want you to unlock your knees.
Don't squat deeply. Just soften them. Think of a tennis player waiting for a serve.
Or think of how you stand when you are trying to keep your balance on a moving bus. We call this the ready stance.
The movement.
The lock: freeze your knees in that bent position. Imagine you have a ceiling just 1 inch above your head. You cannot hit that ceiling.
The isolation. Now, keeping your knees bent and your head level, lift only your heels.
The feel: you will feel this differently. It won't be in the big part of the calf. It will feel lower, deeper, right above the heel cord. The common error: watch me closely. A lot of people turn this into a squat.
They bob up and down.
Host bobs up and down with hips. No.
Your hips stay still.
Your knees stay bent at the exact same angle. The only thing moving is your ankle joint.
It feels harder, doesn't it?
It might even feel shaky. That is because we have taken the big guy, the sprinter, out of the fight, and forced the guardian to hold the line all by itself. The progression: start with both feet. Do 8 to 10 reps. If you are feeling brave, and only if you are safe, try shifting your weight to just one foot, keep that knee bent and lift. Why this is your stair insurance. Every time you do this, you are writing an insurance policy for your next flight of stairs. You are teaching your body, even when my knees are bent, even when the position is awkward, I have the strength to stabilize. This is the difference between a fragile walker and a resilient mover. You have now built the complete system. You have reset the connection, sitting, you have built the strength, standing, and you have secured the stability, bent knee. So, how do we put this into your actual life without it becoming a chore? Let's wrap this up. We have covered a lot of ground today. We moved from the safety of the chair, to the strength of the stand, and finally to the stability of the bent knee. But here is the truth. None of this matters if it stays in this video. The only way this works is if it leaves the screen and enters your life. And I don't want you to treat this like a workout. I don't want you to say, "Oh, I have to go do my calf raises now." I want you to weave them into the fabric of your day. We call this snack sizing your exercise.
Your daily menu.
Morning coffee. When you are sitting with your newspaper or checking your iPad, give me 2 minutes of level 1, seated press.
Wake up the connection before you even start your day.
Brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth twice a day for 2 minutes, right? That is the perfect time for level 2, standing. Hold the sink, brush with one hand, anchor that big toe, and lift. By the time you spit and rinse, you've done 20 reps without even thinking about it. The stairway cue. And finally, every time you approach a flight of stairs, pause for just 10 seconds. Do 5 reps of level 3, bent knee.
Remind your body, okay, guardian muscle, you re-up.
Let's do this safely. The bigger picture. You know, there is a myth that as we get older, we are destined to become fragile. That losing our balance is just part of the deal.
I don't accept that.
And after today, I hope you don't either. You aren't losing your balance because of age. You were losing it because of disuse. You simply stopped calibrating the instrument. Today, you started calibrating it again. Think about what this means. It's not just about calves. It's about walking through the park with your grandkids and looking up at the trees, instead of staring down at your feet in fear. It's about trusting your own body again. That is not just fitness. That is freedom. Call to action. If you are ready to rebuild that trust, I want you to make a small commitment today. Go down to the comments below and write, "Gravity Anchor Set." Let that be your promise to yourself that from today on, you are building your house on a solid foundation. And if you know someone, a walking buddy, a spouse, or a parent, who has been feeling a little unsure on their feet lately, please share this video with them. You might just save them from a fall they didn't see coming. Stay steady, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.